Hare Krishna, welcome to our next session. We are continuing with the topic of self-realization, and today we will talk about cultivation of devotional service in 7 aspects. So this is given to us by Bhaktivinoda Thakura in his book Shri Krishna Samhita. And he is saying that it is the duty of everyone to follow the 7 categories of cultivation, but all these descriptions are not to be performed by everyone, because there is the need to consider one's qualifications. So adhikari must be there, and to see and understand the whole complexity of the process of devotional service. So my point here is just to give many ideas of the processes which are working on us, and they are very complex, so it is good to have some points explained to put it together and make better progress in this way. So these 7 below points are rising up our consciousness like 7 chakras, the centers of our spiritual energy. Because we identify chakra topic with some external things, external qualifications, and because the chakras bring some positions, and they deal in our life. But what is my point regarding the chakras is to spiritualize them, and to rise the consciousness, to make it transformed from material reality to the spiritual reality. So generally we have 7 chakras which are going through our body, but there is said that there are 15 chakras, even 22, but generally we can concentrate on 15 chakras, which are the levels of consciousness, where 7 first chakras are going up to the top of our body, and then 7 next, or 8, are going beyond our body to the spiritual reality. So this is all going on and working on us, and gives us a broader vision how this all works. In previous meeting session, I was talking about the point from Shraddha to Prema, the progress, and this is going on through these 7 levels, rising our consciousness. Our spiritual body is rising as well, so we are progressing in this way, because we must connect to the higher realities, and higher realities and higher bodies. So our body is going bigger and bigger, beyond our material shape of the body. So, and to the spiritual world we must be really big in that sense, spiritually big. So this is this transformation, and Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura gives explaining this cultivation of devotional service from the top down to the first point, but I'm presenting it from the first level, from first chakra, which I'm corresponding to the highest chakra, highest level of consciousness, to make it more clear and maybe more acceptable how our progression goes, because we are more familiar with certain things which are mentioned from the beginning, so it will be better. And the following sense objects help one in development of Krishna consciousness. So this is the first point and cultivation of sense objects. First chakra, this is the earth chakra, and it is called Muladhara chakra. So first is the objects for the eyes. So we know that this is the deities in the temple, which we see, the temple, the holy places. The objects for the ears are the sound vibrations of the songs, bhajanas, lectures, scriptures. The objects for the nose are the tulasi, flowers offered to the Lord. What else is there? Incenses. The objects for the tongue is kirtana, and taking vow to accept only the palatable foodstuffs and drinks that were offered to the Lord, so nothing else except the prasadam, the items which are offered to the Lord, which can be offered to the Lord. So this is our decision, that we are accepting only this. Here Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying about the palatable foodstuff, so it must be tasty because it's offered to the Lord. And the objects for the touch are the air of the holy places. So when we are in the holy places, we are engaged in atmosphere of the holy place, and it touches us. It brings us this speciality, spirituality. So there is also the body of the Vaishnava in this touch, and soft bed offered to the Lord. So this is cultivation of the objects of the touch, this transformation of the external senses, objects which we transform, spiritualize. There are also times like Ekadashi and festival times, days, the places like Vrindavan, Navadvipa, Jagannath Puri, Naimisharanya. And here we can mention that these five senses represent the rising of consciousness. So the consciousness, as I said, rises from the first chakra, root chakra, where the air and smell is, the nose is engaged. Then second chakra is purified, the water, where the taste of the water, Krishna is telling about the taste of the water, I am the taste of the water. This makes this change of our vision of everything to the spiritual vision. Then third chakra is the fire chakra, the belly chakra, and the nishta. Here are the points of progression from Shraddha to Prema, where Shraddha we can compare to the first chakra and develops higher and higher levels. Shraddha, Sadhusanga, Narthanivriti, then Nishta, where the air, touch and skin is, because this is the fire element, when the form is realized, and ears, eyes engaged mostly on this chakra. Then there is fourth chakra, chakra of the heart, the air, where the touch, the skin is going on. The fifth chakra, throat chakra, this is the space, the sound vibration. We are realizing the sound on this chakra. Everything is realized on this platform, spiritualized, and then we realize the space not only in material world but in spiritual world is realized on this chakra. The sound of the Om vibration of the Lord. This is fifth chakra. Then there is sixth chakra, the mind. So we are spiritualizing the mind on this level. Seventh chakra is the Vijnana chakra. So this is the highest chakra, crown, where Jnana, knowledge, realized knowledge, Vijnana is intelligence is realized. So this is ongoing progress to rise our consciousness up, transform our consciousness. So from the cultivation of sense objects and the senses, we are coming to the cultivation of social relationships. So this is the social cultivation. And second chakra, water, Svadhisthana chakra. Here Varna and Ashrama are mentioned. These are the gradations from, because on each chakra there is the progression, the transformation of our consciousness, and Varna is helping us situate ourselves properly within the society, but at the same time rise gradually, achieve more qualification, higher qualifications through this gradation. So like Varna, there is this Shudra, Vaishya, Kshatriya and Brahmana. So in India they are calling us Shudras because generally this is the idea, or even outcast. But we should rise from this habits of Shudra up to Brahmana. So we are rising. Of course, someone can rise immediately when he is open, when his mind and heart is open for the progress. But this is given in gradual understanding, to make the progress gradually, because the samskaras, the previous karma is keeping us in some situations, so we must purify ourselves, and therefore this is this gradation. So also there is ashrama gradation from brahmacharya, grihastha, vanaprastha and sannyasa. Divided according to people's social situation. Varna is divided according to people's nature, what nature one has, as like Kshatriya to fight, to protect, or Shudra or Brahmana, knowledgeable. So the ashrama is divided as according to social situation. And this is also the gradation and the process from brahmacharya, grihastha, vanaprastha, and then up to sannyasa. Here are also the assemblies, general festivals and activities like sacrifices in the social cultivation. The next is a cultivation of one's relationships, and this is the third chakra, the Nishta chakra, and where the fire element is situated, and this is called Manipura chakra. So this purification of this chakra is going on in the connection with Shanta, Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya and Madhurya, Kanta, Rasas. Because there are two relationships with the Lord and with his devotees, and this cultivation helps us to find ourselves in relationship, in that relationships, and develop gradually the taste, the higher taste. This is also some progression through the steps From Shanta, when devotee is coming, a new devotee, he's first in Shanta mood. Then there is Dasya, servitude, and then Sakya, he's more familiar with the Lord and devotees. Vatsalya even acts as a parent, as a higher than the Lord, and Madhurya. So this is the Hare Krishna movement, and we are moving, we are progressing, everything is moving in our society, especially because we have experience of this realizations in our lives. So we are moving always on each level of these chakras. We are moving up and up. Consciousness is going more mature. There is the cultivation of speech, and this is the fourth chakra, chakra of the heart, and it is air and Anahata chakra. And here the chanting hymns, studying, kirtana, so this is the speech, kirtana, teaching, preaching, praying, all these things which are connected with the speech are going on. Next is bodily cultivation. This is the fifth chakra, chakra of the space, Vishuddha chakra, where the Vishuddha sattva is realized. And here Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying about niyamas, dealing with the body. This is the purification of the body. So there is the cleanliness, japa, austerity, sacrifices, faith, hospitality, worship, pilgrimage, welfare work, satisfaction, socham, proper behavior, serving the spiritual master. And there are also other points like serving others, seeing and touching the devotees, and Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam is a literal incarnation of the Lord, so we make the respect to it, and the touching is very purifying. This is that cultivation. In Vrindavan I saw they worship Srimad Bhagavatam with puja, with singing. It's very beautiful procedure. So there is also here praying, hearing, engaging the senses in devotional service, transformations of ecstatic love like bhava, sthai bhava, sattvika bhava, and developing the mood of servitude to the Lord. So on this level, the servitude to the Lord is established, and this is on the fifth level, this is the first is ruchi, then after nishta is ruchi and asakti. So the attachment to the Lord and servitude is established. Then there is mental cultivation, where the mind is purified, and this is the sixth chakra, Ajna chakra. And here the mind is developed, is spiritualized, first from remembrance, then thinking, meditation, concentration, concentrated meditation, and samadhi. So we are going through these different levels of focusing on the Lord, focusing our mind, our thinking. This is that progression up to samadhi, dhyana, dharana, dhyana, and samadhi, where the focus is really strong. Then there is the concentration of the science of Sambandha. We will talk later about this. And repentance is there also. In Christianity it is a very important point, because from that position, when we are sorry, when we feel that something goes wrong with us, we must concentrate our activities. This is also there are yamas, purification of our activities, truthfulness. Activities are purified. This cultivation is going on, like truthfulness, refraining from thief, giving up bad association, intelligence, not accumulating more than necessary, religiosity, celibacy, refraining from unnecessary talk, only focusing on the talk about the Lord, steadiness, forgiveness, and fearlessness. So this is the purification of the heart, of the mind. Mind is purified. So this is purification, cultivation of the mind. Mental cultivation. Then there is spiritual cultivation. This is the 7th chakra, the top chakra, crown, and this is the intelligence, Vijnana, where the Sahasrara chakra is situated, and these are the realizations. So we are realizing Priti or love, and we are realizing this love through realizations of Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayojana. So Sambandha is a realization of relationships, and we have these relationships with the nature, with everything what is going on around us, that we are not alone, that we are realizing that everything around us is alive. It is the God's creation, which is actually God, and we are situated like in a clock where each element is not moving separately, but they go together, they work together. So this is our position, and to understand this all, these animals, trees, that they have needs, they are in some relationship with us. Everything has some reason, and only the Lord knows this reason. So the relationship on Sambandha is also with others, other devotees on different levels, like neophyte, Kanishta, Madhyama, middle, and Uttama, the topmost devotees, how we should relate to them, and this relationship is more realized, more deep, more we more understand this all dealings with others, and also with non-devotees. And finally we realize the Lord, and this is all connected with this. Our relationship on Sambandha is connected with the cosmos, and the earth is in the middle, and then other planets lower and higher, and we are going up to the spiritual, to the top of Brahmaloka. This is the Satyaloka, where all sannyasis are situated. This is connected with our 7th chakra, where it's open, where Vijnana is coming, and we understand by our personal realization everything, and from that perspective we can preach. So this is the elevation of our consciousness. So on that level, someone sees others. I see you. I see everyone. It's not that I am blind, but I am just I see everything. So this is going on also through Abhideya, realization of all devotional processes, So what I'm doing here is just to give some hints, some understanding of many processes which are working on us, which we know, but from the perspective of self-realization, they are seen little differently. And therefore, we are focusing on this, and that is the topic of my book. I'm working now to present self-realization from many angles of vision, to see everything, everyone, other religions, animals, everything, in our contact from our perspective, and to understand others through these realizations. And the last point is prayojana, realization of God as a goal, love of God as a goal, the source of everything. So this is very important, because this is understanding what is my goal, why I am doing this from the beginning, and then through the taste, through the realizations, through the contact with the Lord and other devotees, we feel, we see, we understand our position, our situation, and our goal more clearly, and we are focusing on prayojana, on this goal, on the source of everything, and on our relationship. So this is that cultivation, this realization of our goal. So these 7 categories of cultivation are naturally reciprocal practices. So on each level, on each, like Bhaktivinoda Thakura is saying us here, on each platform, on each chakra, there is realization of our other chakras. So therefore we have some, on each level we have some idea of the whole process, whole progress, because each of them contains more and more informations, more and more realizations. So this cultivation is therefore so complex. If one is unable to synthesize these practices, one must take shelter of a qualified acharya. If someone is not able to grasp this, maybe from previous lives, some qualifications are there, then of course there is the recommended need of the acharya. And here Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying that one who has synthesized these all practices in his behavior, that he behaves properly, he acts with this knowledge, with these realizations, they are inside his activities, they are himself actually. So then he can lead life of a Vaishnava. His family life is God-centered, and his existence is godly. And when one is liberated from material life, he begins to practice unalloyed devotional service on the platform of Shuddha Sattva or Bhava. So the liberation, this liberation in devotional sense, gives one the possibility to become already on this understanding. But until one is not liberated, he should cultivate all 7 items mentioned on these following pages. So this is the idea of Bhaktivinoda Thakura, and I'm on this basis, I'm on this whole idea, I'm preparing this book to give that knowledge and to present it in a more broader sense. So this is my topic now, and therefore I'm presenting these ideas. to just help us understand what is before us, where we are, how we are situated with others, and everything is more clear then. And what is our goal as well. Therefore, I am finishing this topic now. Maybe we will later discuss other topics. And thank you for your attention, for watching this. Other topics are in my sections because this is the 8th session, and on YouTube there are on the point of playlist Self-Realization Anandamayi Dasi, there are all together informations about the self-realization process. So once again, thank you. Hare Krishna. Have a good day. Haribol.